Hey, hi everyone. In this session, I'm going to walk you through a detailed demo of iRecord software from an investor's point of view. Before we kickstart, just a few notes that this software is completely offline based, which means that we do not have any feasibility to operate this on a browser or Google Chrome, neither an app. It functions entirely on a Windows-based desktop or laptop. However, if you are a corporate or an individual who has a requirement of multi-location access, for example, Bombay and Calcutta, we have feasibility to connect this two location of yours and give you a multi-access view which can function simultaneously from both the locations. For as good as a CA form, the software can also function entirely fine on a LAN basis as as many of your team members wish to get onboarded on this. Secondly, we do not have any pricing mechanism which tracks your AUM. We do not supposed to have any idea about what your AUM is, and we are least bothered to even track it. However, we do have restrictions on number of PAN numbers and brokers and segments. So let's assume that you bought a bunch of 15 individual PAN entities. On the 16th entity, you'll have to either top up or migrate your plan from an investor level to an HNI level. And thirdly, we do not have any restrictions on your financial year. You can generate as many financial years for the oncoming or the previous years, whatever date you wish to start accounting on this software. And lastly, iRecord is a multi-asset portfolio tracking as well as an investment and personal accounting software with a detailed mechanism of cash book, bank book, JVs, and entirely a flow until your balance sheet. So you could import your bank statements and also preview your data reporting until balance sheet. So to kickstart with, this is how the sign-in dashboard looks up whenever someone signs in. As a super admin, you will have all the access rights in case of multi-users to determine which user of yours will have rights access to edit, delete, add data, view data, whatever functionality you wish to restrict or give access to. So in front of us, we have two members called Mr. Mehul Shah and Mehul XYZ Fund Manager. If I go back, this is how your multiple entities will look up. And on the adjacent side to the pen or the member name, we have something called family name. So just to quickly walk you through this, we have two levels of data available for the presentation output in this software, parent and child. So you would be able to view your portfolio holistically at a family level, for example, Shah family. And secondary, you can also preview your portfolio reports at an individual member level. So you can also see reports at Mr. Mehul level, also reports at Shah family level. And every individual, like any other accounting software, has multiple financial years determined to them. So this denotes that Mr. Mehul started his accounting in this software from 2024-25. Quickly getting onboarded with 2025 financial year. This is how the dashboard shows up for specifically Mr. Mehul. Here, we cannot do data entry for Vivek, neither for Nidhi, neither for Karthik. You would have to go ahead and toggle around with the members you have by either by pressing F9 or coming onto this menu called Change Member to get into their account and start work. So this is how you can toggle around between multiple members at a time. And secondly, unlike other softwares which doesn't allow users to open multiple tabs at a time, this software allows you to open nth number of tabs at a time. So in case if you have to work 4 or 5 people individually at one time, you can open as many tabs in the background and keep uploading data simultaneously. So going back to Mr. Mehul, I'll be walking you through the member admin menu. The first menu we have over here is called member admin. This is nothing but a one-time setup we'll have to do for the master setup. Here we ask you what's your family name. So I have opened Shah family as a demo. Beneath that, we'll have to determine and which all members are included in the Shah family. So a short KYC form over here called Member Master, where we'll be inputting the full member's name, family name, and the PAN number. PAN number is only required for us to fetch your mutual fund data. Apart from that, if you input your PAN number, which is a compulsion, it will also show as an output on all your reports. And lastly, we have broker setup. So we have more than 2,500 individual broker formats with us since 2017 and onwards, which we have segregated as per the segments. So equity, cash, FNO, derivatives, MCX, currency, bonds, and CDX are bifurcated as per the segments. From this universe, you'll have to select which are the brokers you deal with. Once you do that, this is how your selected brokers list will show up. Now here, every broker, you can select equity, FN or whatever. Every broker, we have also tried to auto fetch your broker's contract notes charges. So for example, Genum Broking has this Excel format of their trade file called 854 report. And these many charges are levied to the investor by the broker. It includes all the stat charges, SEBI fees, STT, stamp duty, including the broker's brokerage charges, which allows us to arrive at your net PNL for the contract. So this is going to be a one-time process in life, working on this software. After this, we have masters set up. If you are someone who is also, aggressively looking to work on accounting front on this software, we also have account groups and general ledger accounts over here. In general ledger accounts, we have something called multi-account uploads. This file will allow you to migrate your existing data from previous vendors or also input manually if it is your first financial year. So this is how our template looks up, where we ask you to input your name of the ledger or your chart of accounts, your undergroup for the same, and debit or credit opening balances. Either this could be your first financial year, which is everything starting from scratch, or this could be your closing trial balances from the previous financial year. The purpose we ask you to input your trial balance instead is that it will also capture your P&L items, which you will not have to generate again in this software. In case if you happen to go with only balance sheet data, it will not capture your P&L items. So that is our recommendation. After this, we have something called opening stock data, where we ask you to import your opening stocks. Opening stocks, again, for that, we'll have to create once a broker ledger. All the ledgers are also manually feasible to get inputted. For example, I'm opening Zerodha broker over here under broker group, inputting my opening ledger balance with Zerodha. And secondary, for the broker specifically as a ledger, we also ask you whether this broking account is a trading portfolio or a non-trading investment portfolio for yourself. In case it's a trading portfolio, your long-term, short-term speculative income will not be presentable on the capital gains report. It will show under share trading category. And in case of your non-trading investment portfolio, we will show you all the three slabs, long-term, short-term, and intraday speculation, with the new rule of showing intraday speculation, profit and loss turnover separately as well. After this, coming on to the opening stock, we also have a template to migrate your previous year's data. That could be from 1990, that could be from 2018, whatever date you have your financials records of for investments held, we can embed an input over here. So we ask you four, five things. That's your date of acquisition, your script name, your quantity, buy price, and ISIN. ISIN number is not important. We have an inbuilt script master which is being maintained by us. In case if we do not understand or realize what Infosys stand for, we will ask you to map Infosys as per the listing name, that is Infosys Limited. Basis your date of acquisition, we compute your first in, first out rule for arriving at your accurate capital gain report. And script name and quantity will help us to determine your first in, first out quantity table computation of your realized PNL. Once we are done with this, lastly, we also have something called Demat Master. All the contract notes that we will be importing will, get recorded and stored over here in your Demat Master report. And basis that, if you have multiple Demat accounts, you would be able to track at a Demat level holding. So this is how my opening stock will look up: A1 Limited, Infi, Reliance, Wipro. Secondly, I also have second broker called Kotak Securities. This is my opening stock for Kotak. So this is how we bifurcate your opening stocks per broker, per demat, per member. And lastly, like I mentioned, demat level, you can open as many demat accounts you wish to have over here. In case of people or investors holding unlisted shares, they can also open up a master for unlisted securities from this menu tab. I've opened up for NSE. The only thing we'll have to do is whenever you come over here and input the data, BSE and NSE listing tabs are given over here. We'll have to untick them. The moment you untick those, automatically the script becomes your unlisted entity in the software, and you would be also able to view valuation of unlisted entities in iRecord by manually inputting your gray market prices, which allows you to view your M2M for unlisted entities and listed entities also and on a separate basis. After doing this, we have, in entirety dragged down and fetched all your historical transactions data. I don't think there's anything left out of this. Once we are done with this, we are done with our onboarding of your historical data and opening up masters. Now coming on to the current year financials, we will be importing your contract notes and multi-date contract notes. As a user, you'll have both the choices available for the available brokers. So a lot of brokers today also provide a historical multi-date transaction or a trade listing file, which is only extractable from the broker's portal. Daily contract note, which shows up something like this, is on a day-to-day basis sent by all the brokers to the registered UCC or the investor's email address. We'll have to download this. The moment you download it, we'll have to copy paste the path where the file has been stored. Going back to the software, we'll have two options. First one is broker's daily contract note. We'll click over here. We'll click on add broker. Over here, we'll have to select Kotak Securities. We'll have Demat account selection option over here as well. And clicking on import button. Kotak Securities will select the respective format and paste the path where the file has been stored. Click on upload. In case if you have a password attached to the file, you can also input your password in the prescribed box that has been embedded on the form. And the moment we click on OK and upload it, this is how your entire contract note gets read and imported. There is no manual intervention, nothing to be done. Your bill date, your settlement number, and bill number are the two things on basis which we validate your imported contract. In case if you happen to re-import the same contract note, system will not allow a duplicated entry for the same. It will show a highlight that bill number already exists. From the contracts, we have fetched in your buy sell, your script name, your cross rate, your brokerage, all the other charges on the left hand side bottom, your brokerage amount, your total expenses, your gross rate, and then arriving at the net amount. This net amount will tally with your broker's contract note and also your broker's financial ledger. Once done with this, coming on to this sort of file, which is extractable from all the major brokers' back office portal. This is nothing but a multiple date file, which saves you a lot of time to import multiple date contract notes with expenses in one single click on the software. So looking up for this, coming back over here in entry multi-date trade file, we'll have to select the segment equity cash FO. In brokers, again, we'll select quoted securities and configuration, the format for the same broker. Coming on to import, we have to select the broker's Demat account, and then we have to select the file path where the file has been stored. Once we do this, your entire multi-date contract note data will get fetched and imported in the software, which looks something like this. So doing this, we have dragged in all the historical dates from the contracts, which is a multi-date period of 2 months selected over here. This saves a lot of time if you are someone who works on this software twice a year or a quarter basis. And lastly, we also have a feasibility to import your broker's financial ledger. So in case just showing up the financial ledger of the brokers in reports, we have a group level data which will walk you through all the brokers' contracts, JVs, bank transfers you have made in the software. So whenever we import the broker's contract notes, we look up for the bill amount and pass it over here. If you have done any bank transfers or withdrawn from the broker, that will show up under bank in your ledger. And lastly, there are a few journal voucher entries that the broker charges the investors on yearly or a quarterly basis, or as and when we sell our holdings. It could be your Demat AMC, it could be your MTF interest, it could be your brokerage charges, whatever it would be. All these are importable in iRecord, which means we will skip bill and bank transfers and only detect the JVs. So showing a sample for Kotak Securities, this is how the ledger for Kotak Securities looks up, which allows us to fetch the data automatically on a JV basis. So wherever JVs are mentioned, system will auto detect that, indirectly saving you a lot of time to manually pass it. And lastly comes a bank statement like this. All the bank statements are importable only in Excel format in iRecord. We do not allow PDFs. Only Excel exported from the net banking portal are import possible in iRecord. So for that, we'll go over here in Masters and try to import the bank transactions. So in entry, we have something called banking. In banking, you have the opportunity to manually pass the entries if it's very, 2 or 3 entries in a year or a month. In other case, you also have bank upload system available over here for data entry. So we'll select the bank which we are trying to import for. Then we'll select the format for which we are trying to import for. And then we'll select the file where the file is saved in our system. So once we do that, we can import the software with the bank transactions. Here we have our automations running in the background script. Basis your narration, we will ask you to map the ledgers from your chart of accounts. If you don't have the chart of accounts ready, you can also generate a new account from here. And in case if you have already available, you are more than welcome to map and categorize your bank entries from here. Once we do that, system will auto detect that, change the narrations with the respectable uh, your ledgers, and then it will allow you to save it. So that is about banking, your broker's ledger, and then we have general voucher entries. We also have a template for passing multi JVs for individual member, multi JVs for multiple members. And then you can also import your cash statement. For mutual fund cash statement, we import your CAMS online report that can be extracted from the registered email address. And then we also have Demat to Demat stock transfer entry feasibility to track your off-market transactions. So for example, if you hold two transaction statements, let's assume in Zerodha and Dhan, and you transferred from Zerodha and Dhan, you can also migrate your off-market transactions from Zerodha to Dhan. And for people who have an aggressive dividend income upcoming from your holding statements, you are also have the feasibility to import your 26 AS traces PDF file over here to detect the mismatches. In case if you happen to import it, you also will be able to find the mismatches for the personal accounts, including investment accounts. So this was about the data entry front in iRecord. After this, the only data entry front remains is the corporate actions. All the possible corporate actions are feasible to get detected and inputted in iRecord. As of today, only dividend income on an accrual basis is importable in iRecord. So bonus rights, merger, demerger, amalgamation, spin-off, buybacks, everything is feasible. IPOs as well. If you're holding unlisted share, the company gets listed. You can also smoothly make it happen and migrate the script from an unlisted entity to a listed entity. Everything is automatic because we are detecting the scripts basis directly from the exchanges. This is a sample report for IPO where we would be able to view at a member level, family level, advisor level, all the IPOs you have applied for, the lot you applied for, and the one you got allotted. So this was about data entry front. In case if you have any queries, how come XYZ asset class, XYZ data entry can be feasibly get imported in iRecord, please drop us an email or reach out to us and we would be more than happy to address the question. Coming on to the reports, the first one that we have is a portfolio snapshot report. This report is a holistically a snapshot report which allows all the users across all the multiple families to uh, track their portfolio at a family level. So this report is available at a member level and a script level, also showcasing you the M2M for the held scripts. At the very bottom, we have the AUM. Besides that, we have the overall running gain and loss and the market value for the same. So the moment we click on expand all, the system will drill it down and then will show us which scripts are held by which all members of my family or multiple families. So taking example of Vodafone Idea over here, we have 30,000 shares held across the script across two different members. Both the members have variable quantities 20,000 and 10,000, and then we have the average rate of purchase acquisition as well. This average rate is at a group level and these are average rates at an individual level. Besides that, it also shows you the market value for the same, the running P&L for the same with the market valuation at a total monetary value. And besides that, we have 0.31 allocation done for the script. The way we are computing this is taking AUM dividing by the market value, arriving at your total portfolio allocation for the script, alongside your portfolio allocation for this member for the script in the entirety of your family's portfolio. And this report, portfolio snapshot, will be available for you to use in equity, cash, derivatives, and mutual funds. So this is how the mutual fund data looks up. After this, we have something called advanced tax report, where we show you a quarterly bifurcation of your entire P&L with your opening shares, your purchase sales done, and the net value for the same. So script wise, in summary, you can look up quarterly realized P&L for all your shares transactions on a realized P&L basis. And besides, we also have grandfather costing as per the 31st Jan 2018 market value included in this report as well. Your short-term, long-term, and speculative income is also traceable from this report. Then we have a report called Closing Stock with ISIN number. This report is a detailed drill down of all the shares you have held as of date is equal to your open position. And you can also detect negative stocks, your detailed purchase dates. So for example, if you bought A1 Limited twice in your lifespan and you're still holding those shares, as per FIFO rule, it will show up the preceding two dates of purchase you have made. And then we have your financial ledger, which runs up across all your running books of accounts. The moment you click on bill, trailing contract note, or your trailing book register will pop out. You can make any amendments over here and it will flow up and get updated until your balance sheet. And lastly, we have something for your capital gains. Capital gains we have available across three different formats. Basis your first in, first out formula, which is your FIFO at a PAN level, FIFO at a Demat level, FIFO traceable at a family level as well. In FIFO at a PAN level, Demat level, family level, you also have the option, as per the income tax rules, to add every expense you have been levied, that is your STT, SEBI, brokerage, XYZ, to this capital gain report excluding STT, because for investors, STT is not claimable. However, in case of people who are showing their books of shares trading as per business or stock in trade or share in trade, here you also have the option to include STT plus all the expenses plus gross rate as per the market rate plus the brokerage. That is all the expenses with the transfer costing mechanism called global report in capital gain itself. So your share trading and that's your trading account and non-trading account will be bifurcated on the capital gain report. This shows you script-wise summary of all the opening stocks, purchase sales you have made, and net of it as a closing stock, the current year's holding report that you have. Then we have the total gross capital gain done and further bifurcation shown across short-term, long-term, and speculative income across P&L. That is again as per the recent income tax rules. Investors are also liable to show the detailed speculative income, that is gain and loss individually as a turnover as well. So we have incorporated that, and at a very gross level, grand total is also available for your preview. 89 lakhs 43,628 is my PNL for global report for capital gain, excluding STT as an expense claim. The moment I go back and click on global report, including that, now I've included my STT in my computation as well. So my profit will decrease. Hence from 89 lakh 43, if I go back, my profit should increase as per the investor level global report without STT. So 93 lakhs 21,000 has come up if I do not include STT in my P&L calculation. So this report is again available across Demat level, broker level, family level. You are more than welcome to use it as per your needs. After this, we also have derivative P&L. This will show you just a gist of detailed P&L for your derivatives realized basis only. Whatever scripts, whatever category, options, futures you have traded, it will show you a summary of your P&L. Then we also have mark-to-market financial ledgers. For mutual funds as well, we have detailed reports, including capital gains, bifurcated across category, equity fund and debt fund, short-term, long-term, again, as per the rules. And we have purchase sale report, which is more profoundly nowadays also recalled by brokers as text P&L report. So broker wise, you will be able to get a summary of your purchase sales done across all the scripts. And at the very bottom, you also have the grand total of the total P&L, total purchases and sales bifurcated at a pan level. Then we also have something called holding period return. This report is primarily developed from the point of view of your tax loss harvesting. In this report, we will be walking you through your running M2M, your percentile M2M, and the holding period, the aging report of your shares held, which allows you to detect whether the shares you are holding are short-term or long-term basis the long-term and short-term criteria of number of days. So in case if you do not have an investment which is not even able to fetch a bank rate returns, this will allow you to determine whether can you save taxability of yours by selling non-performing investments. And then we have STT report, contract note charges report, which will show you a detailed bifurcation of your charges charged to you by your brokers and government for the transactions you have done. We also have a Demat level report to track your holding across Demats, which allows you to also reconcile manually versus your NSDL and CDSL DP statement.